Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much all set. Let me see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing great today. I know that I am. So my friends, let's start off our day like we always do. Let's just go over to the computer. Let's check out very quickly what we did yesterday, and then we'll tackle our day from there. So, what did we do yesterday? Well, it's not very complicated. We just did the finishing touches to the outside of our centerpiece. Today we will just add a few more details to finish it off, and then we're going to tackle the frame of our painting. So that is basically what we are going to do today. We added a little shading, as you can see, to our purple background just to give it a little bit of depth and some richness. So what are we going to do today? Well, today I'm going to finish off the centerpiece by adding a few more details to this. I am, after that, I do want to fix one little thing here that bothers me. I'm either going to do that today, or maybe I'll do it when I finish the painting and I come back and tweak all those little things that are screwed up just to make it a little bit better. So after we do these two parts right here, I'm going to tackle the background of our purple frame. So, first of all, I am going to grab some, what color here? I'm going to grab some sort of a beige, an ochre yellow, which is a beige, light brown, whatever you want to call it. They call it ochre yellow or yellow ochre, I guess in English. Whatever. So let me just get a little bit of that. This is just to add a little bit of shading to this, to our centerpiece right here. I don't need that much. It's just going to be little thin streaks that actually I could just knife on. Maybe I'll do that. How am I going to do this? Let me think this out for a second. Yeah, I guess I'll just add a little more painting and just knife it on. It might give it a little richness, a little texture to it, which always looks kind of nice. So here's my knife. I'm going to do that. So before I do that, let me bring camera number one a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll bring this up and zoom it in. Just like that. Okay, so just wet my knife a little bit here. And I'm going to switch cameras. Let's go to camera number one. And let me tackle these babies right here. There we go. Just want to give it just a little streak like that. Very good. Very nice. Let me just bring the camera down a little bit as we continue around our little There we go. Just a little bit. Just a little streak. A little shading here. There we go. Over here as well. There we go. Let me zoom in even more, see what we can do right on these last ones. How's that? There we go. Just a little bit of ochre like that. And then I might add, just gonna add maybe a little bit more of the yellow on the spikes, I guess. Just to give it a little bit of highlight. I guess I can do that right over here. Again, I'm not going to need that much. It's just really to add a little bit of variation, little highlights, give it some depth, some richness. Oops, let's put this baby away. Let's grab my knife and clean that off. There we go. And let's get back to our painting. I'll come back to camera number 1. And I'm going to start off with this long one right in here. Just do the same thing as we did with the ochre. Let's give it a little, just a little bit of a highlight here. Doesn't need much. Right away it looks so much better. Just like that. Let me just zoom in on this one here. Like that, I'll have something to play with when I edit my movie. Just like that. There we go. Like I said, it doesn't need much. go. Just a little hint. Very good. All right, so we got that done. And as I step back and look at it, yes, it looks a lot better, I think. Now let's just finish it off with little details in black. Opa, there we go. And since I'm going to do some highlights to the eyeball of our painting, I might as well soak up this brush, which I'll be using in about 30 seconds, since we have some ochre paint right there ready to go. Let me get a little bit of black paint here. I'm not going to need much right now. Getting very close to the end of this painting. That's pretty exciting. Hopefully by Friday we'll be done. Like that, be perfect to start a whole new canvas on Monday. That would be ideal. Nice way to start the week, nice way to end the week. So what am I doing here? I am looking for a little bit of my black paintbrush over here. Oh, I don't know, I guess this brush will do the trick. I'm going to start off with the black first. I do have to add a little bit of water though to it. The paint is awfully thick. I'm just going to blend a little bit of water so that this paint flows on the canvas the way I want it to. That looks pretty good right there. Clean off my brush. What am I dropping here? I'm dropping a whole bunch of stuff. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to camera number 1. There we go. Just like that. Okay. Just wipe off the painting here. I did put a little bit of my hands in the painting, but that's no problem. So, how does that look if I step back and take a look? Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. When it's dry, we might come back and all right, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And now I am going to just finish off the eyeball. Just finish off the eyeball with some ochre yellow. Which is pretty stiff here. I'm going to again add a few drops of water and add a little more paint. I mean, all I'm doing is like a comma in the eyeball, but if I can get it on the first stroke, that's the way I like doing it the most. If I don't have to rework it 30 times. So that looks pretty good. I am going to bring my chair over though. Just want to make sure I'm not shaking. And I'm going to zoom in. Just like that. And switch over to camera number 1. Just like that. So let me step back and see where we are at here. Okay, I'm happy. I am going to fix tomorrow when it's dry, or when you know, at the end of it, when you think you finished a painting, there's always like 2 hours left of just fixing little details that are screwed up. At least that's the way I work. So I always think like a painting is finished at 1 o'clock, and in fact it's really finished at 3 o'clock, because I just kind of go back and try to bring everything into perfection, if such a thing exists. I don't think it really does, but anyways, I can't help myself. So what am I going to do next? Well, next I'm going to work on these corners. I'm going to do some branches that eventually will have flowers on the tip of them. And I'm going to do that out of turquoise. So I'm going to grab my turquoise right here. I'm going to start off with a dark turquoise, and I'll go on top of that with a lighter turquoise. And in fact, well, no. I was going to say I have turquoise blue and turquoise green. And I was just wondering if I shouldn't maybe switch. Bring in a slightly different turquoise for this. Let me just check this out, see what this would look like. Bring a little variety to the painting. Add another color to it. That is if I have enough paint here. So I think I'm going to do that. Why not? Since everything else is improvised and all these colors are colors that I'm not used to painting with, why not continue with something new? So I'm going to start off with the darker turquoise green. Or is this the turquoise blue? I can't even tell. Turquoise blue maybe this is. Whatever. So I'm going to start off with that. And then I am going to go with some lighter turquoise on top of that. Just again to give it some depth, I'm going to start with the darker color on the background and the lighter color on top. And for that I'm going to use usually I would splatter it on. But I think today, since there's so little surface, I'm going to fake it. And I'm going to use a paintbrush to give that sensation of being splattered on. So what brush am I going to use for that? Oops, what happened to this brush? There we go. Take good care of my brushes here. So I want a brush that can go from thin to thick to thin to thick, back and forth. So I'm going to try this one. Why not? I'm going to try this. I'm going to again, just add a drop of water. I hope I'm going to be able to get the effect that I want. We're going to find out within a few seconds anyways. I'm going to add more water because this is extremely thick. How's that? I think I could use another big, fat, juicy drop of water. And I'm just going to blend all this in together. Yeah, I know. I'm adding another big drop of water. So how's everything going on the stream here? Okay, uploading at 4,800 kilobytes per second. That looks pretty normal. No drop frames. So even though it's an extremely windy day today, everything seems to be going okay. So that's a relief. So let's tackle these little branches. And I'm going to start off, I'm going to get my camera ready. I'm going to start with this upper left-hand corner right here. And then let's see what happens. So I'm going to just, whoops. First, before I switch over, I do want to get rid of this paint on my brush. I mean, I don't mind getting paint all over my hands. It's kind of unavoidable. But on my paintbrush, I like it to be nice and dry where I'm holding it. So anyways, that's done. So let's go to camera number 1. And let's check this out. Now you see basically what I'm trying to do. T'as trouvé l'échelle? Ah. Elle était où? Ah. Just want to give the impression that I'm splattering this paint on. As you can tell, this a little bit like that. All right, so not that complicated. This is just the first coat. So let me just quickly bring the camera over to this next area right here. Let's continue. Something like that. I'm going to do the same over here. And we will go all the way down here as well. These will be the stems to flowers that I'm going to paint. This is just the background. I'm going to go with a lighter blue on top of that in a few seconds. Okay, so there's two of them. Well, might as well start back here on the left-hand side on the bottom part. There we go. And of course, for that, I'm going to be nice and lazy and grab my chair. There we go. T'as besoin d'un coup de main, François? Tombe pas, hein? There we go. And the next one, we'll do it somewhere like here. There we go. And let's go to our fourth side right over here. I'll just bring the camera over for a second here. Aim it in that corner. And let's go for it. Let's use the double screen, high technology, special effects. There we go. I'll do kind of the same thing over here. There we go. Okay, so let me pull this camera back. I might as well put it up in this upper left-hand corner because that's where we're going to go next, right? Just up like there. I'm going to come back over here though for a second where I'm going to add some white paint to make this a little bit lighter. Right here. And let's blend this in and see what happens, what this looks like. First, I have to wash off my knife. Oui, ça va? Putain, je croyais que tu avais un orgasme, tu étais en train de baiser des nanas, là. Tellement... Oh, il y a tellement de bruit érotique là, qui sort de l'atelier. Franchement, ça perturbe. T'en as mis 2 là déjà? Ah, très bien. So I added some white paint to this. And I think I'm going to add a little more white. It's lighter, but not as light as I'd like it to be. So just another little glob of white paint. And we'll blend all that in together. There we go. There we go. Ready or not. I can feel the temperatures outdoors has changed. It's become a little bit warmer, milder. What a difference it makes to be in the studio and not like be totally frozen like I've been for the last, I was going to say weeks, but actually it's been a couple of months now, actually. Ugh. Thank God. So let's blend in again. Why don't I come over here? Let me do this. Let me just come over to camera number 1 for a second, right down here. Come on down here, baby. There we go. So there's our darker turquoise that we had earlier that we put on our first coat. What's going on here? Do I have this zoomed in? That's why. Okay. So we have the darker what we did our first coat. This was my first tryout, but I'm going to just blend this in and make this a lot lighter. It's extremely thick as well, so I'm going to just add some more water. I have a jar of water right here, so that's pretty handy. Can I pull this back even more? Yes, there we go. Now you can see my jar of water right there. So let's blend all this in. Make that turquoise a lot lighter. And then on top of this, I might put like just a little streak of black paint. So there's that turquoise. I think that will look nice. I'm not going to blend the whole thing because I don't need really all that much. I've made an awful lot there, more than what I will use. But anyway, so let's pull up the camera. Let's aim for right in there. Léa, Tu sais bien que si jamais tu as besoin d'utiliser pour faire une grosse toile, la grande galerie,
Ouais.
pour un truc, c'est peut-être toujours la
Bah,
bienvenue.
c'est top,
Tu le sais,
merci.
hein?
Ouais, mais
D'accord,
c'est vrai que c'est bon à savoir. Ouais.
d'accord, bien sûr.
Merci,
Oui, oui, tu es
David.
toujours la bienvenue ici, hein?
Ouais, bah
Bien
super.
sûr. Bah oui, parce que tu sais, des fois, tu as envie de faire un clip, un film, un truc.
Ouais,
Tu penses
c'est
à
vrai.
nous, tu as toujours cet espace qui t'est
Bah, c'est
quand
top,
tu,
ça.
quand
C'est
tu
vrai que ce
veux.
sera aujourd'hui, ce sera plus ce genre de
Bah
besoin
oui,
que
c'est ce
j'aurai, je
qu'on
pense.
avait bien compris, mais
Ouais, c'est vrai que je bouge beaucoup et je savais pas.
ouais,
Bon,
je
bah.
sais, je sais.
Tant mieux, mais je suis contente que, en fait, finalement, que ça se fasse parce que je pense que c'est la bonne chose à faire.
Bah ok. Bah, c'est une
Du
bonne
coup,
attitude en tout
c'est.
cas, ouais.
Ouais, bah, c'est
Enfin, je
normal.
voulais que tu sois
Ouais.
consciente que
Et
tu es
ça me rassure
toujours.
parce que je me dis, ouais, si j'ai un projet à faire,
Oui,
de faire une
voilà.
grande toile, ce serait top.
Sans
En
hésiter,
plus,
pense
j'aime
à
bien la
nous.
grande galerie,
Bah
je trouve
bien
qu'elle est
sûr,
lumineuse, elle est ça et
c'est
tout.
clair. Plus spacieuse, on peut prendre
Ouais,
plus de recul. Ah,
exact.
bien sûr, ça prête
Exact.
à ça, c'est sûr.
Ok, bah, de toute façon, je reviens demain
Oui, ça marche.
et bah, à bientôt alors.
Ça marche. Ciao
Salut,
Léa,
bonne journée.
toi aussi. So, let's go back over here. Up, and let's add these last stems. See, there's not much. I'm just putting a little bit. Just like that, okay? And we're going to just do the same thing right here. I'm not even sure if this is the right brush. Maybe this brush is a little too thick. Maybe I should grab a little smaller one, which is what I'll do right now, is maybe grab this, the one I used for the black earlier. Maybe I should use that as a brush. Let's try it on these next branches. I'll just bring camera over here. Untangle all these friggin' wires. I got more wires on the floor for my streaming than I have paintbrushes almost. So where am I at? Let's go over here. And let's try these stems over here. All right, not bad. I just made a little boo-boo right here that I need to clean up. There, that's done. Put my hands already in the paint. You know, just doing anything really. There we go. Let's bring this baby all the way down here. I'll pull it back a little bit, just like that, and I'll grab my chair, which is right here as well. I'm so organized, it's unbelievable. Okay, got that done. Let's zoom in here on this baby right here. Why not? See if I can. There we go. Just like that. And I'll pull this baby back up for that last little branch or whatever you want to call it. All right, there we go. And we just have our last one for the day to do because we have to wait all this to dry so that tomorrow we can finish off most of this. Oops, I have a feeling I just put a bunch of paint on my nose. There. So, let me pull everything out of the way so I don't knock anything over. Let's bring this baby back here. So I have the idea for these little flowers for tomorrow, and then we'll see. I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll worry about that tomorrow. So there's our painting camera number 2. And from camera number 1. So there you have it, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little 46 minutes, 47 minutes of streaming. Anyways, I hope you'll join me tomorrow. I think tomorrow is Thursday, so theoretically we'll be doing our stream in French. Hopefully we'll be finishing this painting or getting very close to it. But anyways, so once again, thanks very much for joining me. I'm going to leave you like I always do with 2 things. Do I have paint on my nose? You better believe I do. Look at all that. Look at all that paint, for crying out loud. Oh boy, little spit, little rubbing. Anyways, I have a mirror back in my kitchen. I'll check it out before I go outdoors. Even though I still wear the mask, I don't have to, but just to bother people, just to bug these Republicans or whatever, I keep my mask on. Anyways, So that's the kind of guy I am, a real pain in the ass. But anyways, I want to thank you again for joining me. I'm going to leave you like I always do with two things. I'm going to leave you with my schedule and by saying, ciao mes amis.